September the 29th, 2019. Guys, beautiful weather here in central Mississippi this Sunday morning. 88 degrees, and it's a little warm, 95 heat index. Things are going to change in the next week or so. What you're looking at is starting on the 27th. Notice at the bottom of the screen your dates. We saw an increase in solar wind speed. That's indicated in the purple line. This is what we're talking about. So we see these solar stream winds pick up, and you're looking at over 1.5 million miles per hour in some of these peaks. Guys, that tectonic pressure on our quake fault zones keeps building. And so here's what we're dealing with. A 7.2 now. This is down 67 kilometers west-southwest of Constitucion, Chile. Shallow quake, 9.8 kilometers deep. It's just offshore, but I've checked. There's no tsunami warnings, and there's no information coming from the National Data Buoy Center with the offshore buoys in that area. Usually you're looking at a strong 8 and a 9 when you get a serious tsunami. Also, notice we're getting quakes over in California, guys. This is at China Lake, Ridgecrest area. 66 of the quakes on the entire map were there. I think it's underground magma movement myself, but again, the National Data Buoy Center is showing no movement from the data or from the earthquake, guys. Now, let me say this: with a 7.2 in the harbors and smaller areas along the coast there, you can see small waves. Even though a buoy may not indicate it, it could be enough to swamp a boat, things like that, or so just pay attention to it if you're in that area. Now, we've got Hurricane Lorenzo. It's on this map. We're going to talk about it. This thing is unusual. It is a monster Cat 4 right now. The UK, you're going to take the brunt of this. But before that happens, for people in the Azores, they're about to put out hurricane warnings and watches, tropical storm warnings and watches in that area. You notice, if we go to the National Hurricane Center, 145 mile per hour sustained winds. It's moving northeast, 10 miles an hour. Pressure, it's 938 millibars. Powerful storm. We'll look at it on satellite. But if you notice, if you go northeast to the top right of the screen, there's a small section of islands there called the Azores, and they're really going to be hit very similar to what we saw in the Bahamas. So pay attention to it right in this area. And this is just the track of the center, this particular cone. It's not the size of the storm. You'll see it. But guys, you still got a hurricane by 8 a.m. Thursday, slowing down to a tropical storm just before it comes ashore. Think about this. Now remember the inertia effect. When you come out of especially a major hurricane, even though it slows down to a tropical storm, it has already pushed the waves and water in front of itself. That does not stop immediately as the storm decreases at the center. Okay, you've got that forward motion. Now Karen pretty much got wiped out by wind shear, just low pressure. Now keeping an eye on a couple of these other places, but look at Lorenzo. That's a powerful storm. It's powerful almost as Dorian, but about twice or 3 times as big. If you overlaid the size of that storm on, just say, Florida, look over to the top left, the peninsula, completely envelop it. So again, the Azores are going to get hit by a major hurricane, and our friends in the UK, you're going to take a tropical storm as it comes ashore. And don't forget that forward motion will still exist there. This could be one of the most powerful you've seen. So just, guys, keep your eyes on this thing and be prepared for it. I never thought I'd really be putting out hurricane watches and warnings for the UK, but it looks like our planet is in that position during grand solar minimum. Let me say this. Today's the 29th. October 4th, for you guys that are looking at getting an Alexa Pure water filter. That sale goes off right now. They went from $199 to $189. Then you add the 20% at checkout. You got to go through the checkout. Come to our website at BPEarthWatch.com, and that's going to put the #1 water filter on the planet down to $151 and some change shipped. They're going out in 2 days. As long as supplies last, it will go to October the 4th. They are moving fast, guys. It's a heads up. Be safe.